welcome back to Praggers Gaming. I'm Gamer Praggers, and this is Techtonica. In the last episode, we set up this little sand pump stack, and for the most part, we're doing all right. We're bringing the sand over here, and then using this group of 16 crushers, we're taking the sand, breaking it down, taking those items, reconstituting into sand, and then taking the sand again and constituting down, and then making it back up into sand. Now, it's Sesame sand. Now that reduces the amount of sand that we've got, of Sesame sand that we've got to do anything with. However, these aren't being done equally, so I want to change this up a bit. So let me get my belts. So first things first, because this didn't work. So what I want is, so what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what's that? 5, 10, 19. That's the center point, isn't it? Except yeah, we can. Okay, so let's do that then. I'll take one of those and put you there, because what I can do is if I move you there and you there, what I can do to try and balance this out a bit is do this. And do that, and then we can have one of those here, I suppose, and that goes here, and that should, if I nope. Right, then we take rid of that and that. Okay, there, and then we can just change that to that. Okay, that then balances that out a bit more than it was before. Which should be quite good, but I am going to just top each one of these off with a stack. Because what, in fact, it's tempting, if they're keeping up, why not send these back into the system? Because there's not going to be a whole lot of them coming out. Right, let me just do that. Okay. So that's 254. I can't tell if that is actually processing them. I think it is. Oh, because there's not enough in there to process. Because there's not enough sand. Okay. So how are we doing over here? These are keeping up, aren't they? Yeah. So the other thing that I feel we need to do is we need to work on a system for getting this out that's effectively the reverse of this over here. So, okay, so let's put that out here. So if we're... So hang on, so we would need these to be 4 high anyway. I think that's the same. Okay. But yeah, we need power, the fuel as well, to go up. I mean, that's a problem. So that's the fuel, so we need to work on the output. Okay. So, how am I doing this? If the... So we join... Hang on, because it's not quite the same, is it? Because we've got 2 sides. Hang on, no, because we're already merging 2 into each floor. So I would need to merge... So effectively, it would be... that. So that merges those two, and then these two merge, and those two merge with that, which then merges down with the bottom. Those two merge, but it's merging with all three, so technically this would need to but it can't, can it? It would need to merge like that instead. 23. Okay. Right. And then this all becomes a problem when this backs up. Oh blimey, that's processed it all. Holy. So actually, these are keeping up pretty well. I'm just gonna stick you in. Because how many does that process at a time? 25. And it processes it in, and that reduces the amount of sand we've got coming in. That actually deals with it quite well, actually. We need to work, so I think we need to work on the same thing over here. Yeah. I mean, this side is all keeping up, but we do have a massive backlog of sand here. Oh, hang on a minute. I've got no sesamite gel coming up. Why not? That's glass. Oh, sesamite gel. Right. Okay. Right, sesamite gel is a problem. Where is that coming from? Is that coming from Foundry? No, that's coming from X-ray, isn't it? I'm sure that's coming from X-ray. Yeah. 1, 9. Why is that sending it to 1? That should be going there. No wonder this is backed up. I mean, massively backed up. Oh, and yeah. Oosh. It's the one thing I feel this game lacks, and that's logic for dealing with inputs and that. Okay. Okay, so that's taking it now. That's now putting it up to 14. So we should see. Yep. That's now doing that. Okay. Okay. Yes. This is still keeping up. It's not backed up coming through. So, okay. And down here. Okay. Nearly full, which is going to become a problem. But how much does that? It takes 50. Okay. But this side, the problem we've got is the output is. Okay, so we need to work on another system similar to the one that allows this to output, and yeah, but you're not keeping up. I mean, part of me is tempted to pump these into this. I mean, do we need this? I don't really know how much of the power is coming. Yeah. But why? Okay, so fuels are starting to become a problem. Yeah, I can already see over there. Okay. But then I don't think enlarging this is the right thing to do. Right. Okay. Let me just jump down to archive, which looks like it's full of power. Still processing. How? There is nothing. Okay. Okay. So. I'm tempted. Do I want... No, I want fast inserters. Actually, no, I will go bulk inserters. Just so that power that's backed up can then be pumped up. And if we go Sierra, which I think we're already doing the same, but I think we might only be... But, look at this. all that sand processing is keeping these on. There you go. That's quite funny. And that is going up to 14. But we're not getting a lot up here. I bet this is all backed up again. $18,000. You're pumping out scrap. Okay. Carbon bricks are all backed up. Interesting. Okay. So let's go back to lab and see if that's made. It'll make a little bit of difference because of how we're doing here, but this is purely so that we can try and keep power from our side. It's getting over. How is that? Is that from down here? Yeah. I'm gonna pop that like that. I'm gonna yeah, no. I'll do bulk inserters just because I want to try and yeah, we need to I want to try and temper just throwing power when we've got power production up here. Now the problem you aren't a problem, you are processing. Output is full. What are you? Assess my coolant. So you're going as much as you can. How much do you produce? You produce 24 and you take 24, that's fine. Output full. Okay. And by the looks of it, the sesamite powder isn't a problem. Okay. Right, I'm going to take that. And put that there. No. There. Now I can do that. There. And then that feeds into there. Right, that's backed up. Why? Oh. There we go. Right. Okay. So if I do that, is that going to catch up? I think it is. Okay. Now, obviously, we don't have a backup over here. 126, 117. Yeah. I need to improve that system. Yeah. But we have started to make a dent in how much sand is remaining. Okay. So oh, interesting. These ones are now emptying. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take that out because that's not needed anymore. There. That takes the sand. Okay. So what's coming through there? That's sesamoite powder, isn't it? Yeah. I'm just wondering. If I do that. And do that instead. Oh, because you were needed there. That's fine. Okay. If I do that, that then introduces another backlog of sand into this system. But we're also not seeing it back up this side. Which is good. How much? 10, Sesamoite powder is going to become a problem, I think. No, you only get one. Okay. In fact, that might still become a problem and we need to take that out. So we might need to mess around with this a bit and separate these out a bit more. Power's going. It is backing up actually, saying that, which is good. Okay. So you are now emptying, which is good. Because hopefully when that empties, it will, which it nearly has. But I want to see if this can still keep up. I think it can. That's awesome. Because obviously these are now all empty. Right, and that's added another one in. Again, of which it was only the middle ones that were causing the problem. Right, so what's now backed up? Because we're not... It must be over here. Yeah, they're backed up. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens when this clears out a bit. I mean, that's already gone through half of it. We'd have one more to put in. To the system. And none of these are anywhere close to processing. Nearly there. But then I don't know if there's any merit in putting the output chest on the output. There we go. So those are all clear now, except the one on the end. That's all backed up, but that'll be because it can't process, because it's all churning through the backlog of this, mainly because it's having to balance these out. But right. So these should now kick in. No. Okay, we need to rework this then, don't we? So, to there. Whether that's long enough, I don't know. Okay, then... I know what to do. There. Okay. Okay, we'll let that run for a bit and we'll see what happens. What's that done to... Okay. Okay. Right, we're going to let that run for a bit. And we'll see what happens. How are we doing over here? Yeah, we're looking alright. These are obviously all pumping out. Hang on, that's the end one. Yeah, that one won't be. That's fine, we can deal with that. What I want to do is I want to go to X-ray and I want to see how much green science we've got. And get that into the system if we've got some. We have 148. Let's take those and we'll put them into the system. And then there's one other thing I want to check. But I don't think it's been processing that fast. It is on freight. Oh, well. Uh, 15, 16, 1747. Okay. Interesting. We're processing that at a lovely rate. Good news. Good news, low prices. We're producing enough power, so that's keeping up, which is good. Pop those in there. Okay. Okay, right. Thank you for hanging out. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, ticking the bell so you know when new videos go live. In the description is a link to the channel Discord. Feel free to come and talk about the games you're playing, the games I'm playing, games in general. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!